What is up, everybody? Trains of Marvel Fan 2002 here for my very first toy review. Except in today's toy review, we're going to be taking a look at one of the most popular HO scale train sets to be made in the HO Thomas & Friends line. That being the HO scale Bachmann Thomas & Friends HO scale starter set. Yep, that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. But before we do get started with this review, I have a couple of important announcements to make. In my last video, it was a video of me showing my cute little beagle named Rhino licking my camera. And I have to admit, you guys, that video is really dang cute. Because as you guys all know, I'm a big dog lover. So anyways, in this review, we're going to be taking a look at the brief history of this Thomas set to where it was from back then all the way to today. And we're going to be taking a look at the models in this set, and in the end, we're going to be giving Thomas a run on his branch line. So, with that said, I have just one more announcement really quick, guys, before we do get started. Now, in my next review, we're going to be taking a look at the Tomy 1996 Edward. So, stay tuned for that, guys. So, with that said, let's get straight into it, shall we? So, back in 2002, when Bachmann started making their HO scale Thomas line, sometime around 2003 and 2004, they released the Bachmann Thomas with Annie and Clarabelle starter set. In this set, you get Thomas, who you guys see right here, Annie, and of course, Clarabelle. Plus also, a big loop of track. Anyways, let's continue. So, this set was made during that time, and it became one of Bachmann's most popular sets, besides, well, a few sets I don't remember their names that well. I do apologize for that. Anyways, as years went on, they did release the Bachmann Thomas Deluxe set, where you got Thomas, Annie, Clarabelle, plus Birdie and Harold, plus also sometime in early 2010, 2011, they released the Bachmann Thomas Fun with Freight set, and also the Whistle and Chuff set too. So yeah, now let's take a look at the set today. So in this set, you get Thomas, Annie, Clarabelle, and of course a loop of track. So now, let's take a look at the models, shall we? Let's start off with Thomas himself. So Thomas is a pretty well-made Bachmann model. I think Bachmann did a pretty good job making everyone's favorite #1 tank engine, Thomas. Let's start with the pros. His side is very well done, very TVS accurate. They got his #1 really well painted on there, just like that is seen in the show. His wheels are pretty well designed too. These wheels remind me more of like the Hit era, the early Hit era to be precise, mainly Season 7 and Season 8. But besides that, the wheels do look nice. Especially the side rods too. His front is really well designed as well. His lamp is really well molded on, along with his lamp irons, brake pipe, and his hook. The one thing I always like too about the Bachmann models when it comes to their hook is that you can actually use a little coupling to make them look like they're shunting or pulling trucks. Pretty well done, Bachmann. One thing too I really like as well about the Bachmann Thomas is the buffers. Compared to the Lionel model, which I do own, which the Lionel one are pretty out of scale, Bachmann got them pretty dang right. Well done, Bachmann. We're going to talk about the face in a bit. Now let's take a look at the backside of Thomas. Thomas's backside is done really well. His lamp is really well molded on, alongside with his back buffers, brake pipe, and of course his hook and loop coupler. The left side of the Thomas model is done really well too, with his molded in cab detailing, along with his pinstriping and his iconic #1. Even his whistle is pretty well made as well. I think Bachmann did a pretty spectacular job with the whistle, dome, and his top pinstripes. Now, with all those positives aside, let's talk about the number one con. The face. Now, I do understand what Bachmann was trying to go for here. They were really trying to make him look more like those promo arts that were seen on either mainly in like, I don't know how to put this, mainly seen on like old school lunch pails, like sticker books. I'm not too big a fan of how Bachmann made his face. I like that the eyes move, but really, Bachmann, that's the best you can give us. I do hope, though, in the distant future, Bachmann can improve their Bachmann-Thomas face to make him look more like the actual show. This is just an okay face, in my opinion. And, yeah, I do hope that Bachmann can improve this. But overall, Thomas is a really good model. And I think Bachmann threw it out of the ballpark with his HO scale counterpart and his G scale counterpart, which we'll take a look at the G scale model some other time. So with Thomas aside, let's take a look at Annie and Clarabelle. Let's first start off with Annie. Bachmann did a really good job with Annie here. Her side details are really, really nice and really crisp. Definitely reminding me of the Tomy model. Her name board is really well painted on, along with the window details. I don't know what you would call these, but these are also really well done too, the little handrails. Her face is really well done too, because just like in the actual model series, on one of Annie's scenes in Terrence the Tractor, Annie did have a shocked face. I do like how Bachmann got that right. Well done, Bachmann. Her sides are also really well done too, very faithful to the television series prop, mainly seasons 6 through 8. And even her undercarriage is really well done too. And as well, the buffers and the hook and loop coupler are really well done on Annie. And last, but certainly not least, before we do give Thomas a run on his branch line, let's take a look at Clarabelle. So Clarabelle, just like Annie, nothing too special to say. She's pretty much the same coach as Annie. But I do like how Bachmann did get all her details correct. Her face is pretty well made. And even the side of the model is really well made too. Same with the undercarriage. But the face, just like Annie's, is extremely well done. Well done, Bachmann. But if there is one nitpick I do have about Annie and Clarabelle is, I do really wish Bachmann would give them like the little black undercarriage here to make it look more like the CGI era. But oh well, beggars can't be choosers. So well, in conclusion, these models are extremely well done and well designed. Now, before we do sign off, let's give good old Thomas here a run with his two faithful coaches, Annie and Clarabelle. Okie dokie, Thomas is on the tracks. Well, Thomas, it's time for you to be a really useful engine on your branch line. Well, anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this full tour review and run on the Bachmann HO scale Thomas and Friends starter set with Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle. I hope you guys are all having an amazing start of the new year, 2024, and let's just hope this year will be an awesome year. Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this full tour review and run. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to stay tuned for my next video, where we'll be taking a look at the Tomy 1996 Edward. This has been the Real Trains of Marvel Fan 2002, signing off. Bye-bye!